Hey, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money, and in today's episode, we are here in the northeast section of Miami-Dade, which is predominantly called the Upper East Side. To most of you who are from Miami here, and we're going to be visiting a few areas. Well, I'm going to be visiting two parks here, just to give an understanding of Miami's different side. We are here on Biscayne Boulevard and Northeast 66th Street. This here is called the Hotel New Yorker, and this here, I'm going to try to cross the street real quick because this is a high traffic area. This right here used to be a net office, which is now Commissioner Christine King's district office. If you are from Miami, in the city of Miami, District 5, which is the urban, in the city of Miami, which is the urban area of Miami, which includes Overtown, Liberty City, Brownsville, Wynwood, and other areas. This is her district, and this is Legion Park. Now, I've been to this park once before, but I haven't fully visited this park where I've been fully on the inside. Like, I've been like halfway through, like I was going to a function and I sat here for a minute, and I didn't sat in the park. But this is Legion Park. This is one of the parks. This is owned by the city of Miami. Remember I said back a while back, I said there are two different parks. There are parks that are owned by the county, and there are parks that are owned by the city. This is a city park, and I believe this right here happens to be a dog park. Now, this probably been here for some time, but as far as I know, that I haven't been to this park, and I haven't really been to the inside of this park. Now, excuse me, I must say before I started this video, this is my voice because I've been a little bit under the weather for the past couple of days because of the change of weather. I did develop a cold, so I'm in the last stages of my cold. So, yes, I'm taking medicines and everything, and staying being cautious, and of course, I'm taking all the fluids that I need. Now, this park is in use for the Upper East Side and the Northeast section of Miami. There are several parks that surrounds the area of the Northeast section of Miami. I know a few people that stayed in the area. One of my dear friends who passed away years ago, rest in peace, stayed near this area. Now, this is on the east side of Little Haiti. If you don't know about Little Haiti is Miami has a known factor of naming some of their neighborhoods predominantly for its cultural areas. You have Little Haiti, which is predominantly a percentage of the people that stay in Little Haiti are Haitian Americans. And then you have Little Havana, which is predominantly something similar to Havana, Cuba, which is predominantly Cuban Americans that stay there. Not saying that that's where all of them stay, because of course you have plenty of people who are spaced out in other areas of the city and of the county. Now, as you see, we've been walking up the park. This is the parking lot of the park. The entrance, I believe, is on the side street, but this is the pedestrian walking up the park. Now, I've never actually been to this back part of the park because, I've never had any intentions of coming to this park. But I always wondered what lies within this park because of the area that this park sits in. Now, as you can see, there are new high-rises that has been built here. So I'm guessing this is one of sorry about that, park goers. And this looks like the park administrative building over here. Now, what this is, I don't know. Looks like a newly renovated playground, because a lot of these areas, a lot of this area looks like it's, being remodeled. A lot of the parks here are being remodeled due to the renovation of a lot of these parks. They said there's a sign for the waterfront area, so we're gonna go there. This might be the park administration building. I don't know what this is or whatever. It says that the courts are closed, the tennis courts. We're not gonna go to the tennis courts. We don't need the tennis courts. I guess there isn't a walkway to get to the water area, waterfront this way. So I'm guessing this is the other side of. Basically, what I'm trying to see how to get to the water area. I'm guessing this is a side trail to get to the water part of the beach, or the water part of the park, meaning not the pool, because this park doesn't have a pool, but like the taking the views of Biscayne Bay. This is probably bad. I would have thought that they would have had a trail. Here it says waterfront this way, so I'm guessing I thought they would have had a trail that lead to the, like an actual concrete trail that would lead you to the water area or to the beachside area of Biscayne Bay. Now, if you want to know more about Biscayne Bay, you can look it up. Biscayne Bay is basically the ocean area of the northeast section of Miami, which stretches along the waterways from downtown Miami to the northern side of Miami, anywhere from downtown Miami as far north as North Bay Village, and probably even norther than that. So that is Biscayne Bay. If you ever watch the news and they talk about Biscayne Bay, for us Miamians, there was a little hole right there that I didn't pay attention to. When they talk about the Biscayne Bay area, for us Miamians, we automatically know, there's a lot of deep little holes down here. So I have to be careful because I see a couple of holes down here. So when they talk about Biscayne Bay, see there's another one right there. They talk about the waterways of Biscayne Bay. It looks like the park doesn't really keep up with this area, because a lot of these are concrete benches, and they also have metal benches. One of them sits, there's a lizard right there. One of them is right here, and this is one of the park-owned benches, and it's covered in trees. So that lets you know that the park does probably do a little upkeep of this area, because you can see that the grass is cut. But as far as keeping up with the upkeeps, like you have the trees and stuff overshadowing the bushes. It says do not feed or harass the crocodiles. It is a thing. It is dangerous. That means crocodiles do come ashore over here, and there's been quite a few sightings of crocodiles within the South Florida area and in the Florida area. I don't know if you've ever been watching the news. Crocodiles have been known to show up in people's neighborhoods, and even my neighborhood is hard because a lot of crocodiles, they don't come in the area. They come mostly in areas that are filled with, bush, lakes and ponds and, oceans and stuff like that. This is another, area as well. Now, this park does stretch, more likely. I don't think I'm gonna go back to the other area. Now, there is a walkway in this park in the back of here. It's in the back part, so there is a walkway. Let me walk over here, because I do see like webs. There are a lot of bees that are out here in the grass too, so you got to be careful with that, because there are a lot of bees and a lot of plants with bees. And I see a lot of spider webs that are out here too, so you got to be cautious when you come out here. And I'm quite sure there are people that come out here. This is, I guess, the area where you can walk and drive at to get to this back part of the park. But as far as the main park, you have to go through the back area of the tennis area. No fishing, swimming, or boating, but that's probably not the case because a lot of people do come to these parks out here, especially near the bay, and they come out here and swim. See if I can find another seat under the shade so we can see. Let me come here. It says no fishing, swimming, or boating, but to my understanding, you're talking about no fishing, swimming, or boating, but you have a boat ramp here, which is probably a man-made boat ramp where you can bring your boat out here and you can boat. Yeah, this is a man-made boat ramp. And I believe the park made this. I know as you go further deep into it, it probably gets a little bit wet. And I'm not going to go further deep into it. But this is a man-made boat. And as you can see across the waterway, that's a little mini island that sits there. Miami has several mini islands that sits less than a mile away. Like you have like that mini island. If you can see, I'm going to zoom in. That mini island that sits there, and then you have the island that sits there, and a lot of these are just regular unknown islands that people probably go and dock their boats, and they probably have little mini parties there at these islands, and they probably go and have a little fun and have their little romantic evenings. And I would say, for me, that would be a cautious thing for me, because as well, since those islands are somewhat deserted, there can also be dangerous creatures there. Like, see this island, I see that it has signage at that island, but you can't really see it. I can see it from here. There's like 2 signs at that place, but a lot of these islands are cautious for me because they have, endangered species or wildlife or sea creatures that come up on these islands, to where it'll probably be dangerous for you to actually go up on these islands and take and gander on any activity, whether you're partying or leisure or whatever. It might be dangerous in some of these areas. And this is not only this is a park for the people that live in this area, this is also a park for people who just want to take a leisure stroll in the water area. You want to walk around the water area, you want to take a peek at the water, or you want to relax yourself. One of my pastimes as a young kid, like when I used to have when I used to get upset or used to be aggravated or something that really bothered me, I used to always get up my basketball, and I used to go play basketball in the at the park. And I used to go to play basketball, and it used to actually calm my nerves, and it used to actually calm me down to where I used to calm myself down by actually going and play basketball in the basketball court, and stuff like that. So a lot of people, some people, they come out here to relax. They come out here to fish. As you can see, the people there, not trying to bust a bubble, because it does say no fishing. There's no boating either, but there's a boat ramp right there where you can actually boat ramp. This actually looks like an event space, like a hall where you could rent for the park, and it might be part of the park offices as well too. I'm gonna sit down here for a second. Overall, this is Legion Park. Like I said, it is owned by the city of Miami. It's not a county park, it is a city park. They have a few amenities. They have a tennis court, they have a basketball court, they do have a playground. Some of the parks we visited, they didn't have a basketball court, they didn't have a tennis court. They don't have a pavilion that you could rent out to do parties and stuff like that. There are some parks that we've seen that they have some amenities, but they don't have all amenities. So, you have to look at certain of these things. But they do have it where you could come out here and, take a gander of the waterways. Now, the waterways back then probably looked a little bit better than it is now, because now you have a lot of high-rises and condominiums and a lot of buildings that overlook you can see from across the waterways, you see a lot of high-rises and condominiums on the other side, which is Miami Beach and Key Biscayne and other areas on the beach, to where, back then it probably was a beautiful intake. You probably saw boats, you probably saw, dolphins and Even though I've never seen a dolphin in Miami except going to the Miami Seaquarium, and you saw sea creatures and stuff like that. And now all you see is high rises and condominiums and office buildings and stuff like that. From a distance you could probably see downtown Miami and their high rises. You see a high rise here. Remember when we did a view of Olita River State Park back then? Go to my hotspots in South Florida and history in South Florida. I did a video of Olita River State Park, and they actually had a view where you could see the lifeguard, one of the lifeguard towers from Haulover Beach, from across the way from Olita River. If you went to a certain part of Olita River State Park, you saw one of the lifeguard towers from Olita River, and that's across the waterways from the Haulover Beach. You saw the lifeguard tower at Haulover Beach from Olita River. And here you can see there's a boat out there. You can't really see it. I'm not going to zoom in because it just went right behind the little island there. There is an island here that I'm going to mention that's called Raccoon Island. It's somewhere in Miami. I've Googled it. I don't know the exact location, but it is called Raccoon Island, where there is tons of raccoons. Now, people have been known to visit the Raccoon Island. I'm kind of iffy about visiting something like that because I'm not very best with raccoons. I don't know if I told you, one time I did visit the park that we did a video on. I did a visit to Grinnell's Park, and I was there eating some snacks, and one of the raccoons there came up on me and tried to get me for my snacks, and they actually did take a snack. It was a bag of chips. It was a medium-sized bag of Tom's salt and vinegar chips, and the raccoon tried to get me. And a lot of these raccoons, not saying that they do, but some raccoons, they do carry rabies and diseases and stuff like that. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. Leaf fell down from the tree, and I thought it was something like a insect or something. But when a lot of them, they do carry diseases, and not all of them, but some of them, and some of them are street raccoons, where you don't know what they have on them, and some of them are very protective. And when they see food, because people like to feed raccoons, especially in parks like that. Grinnell's Park is a public park owned by the county. And, there's a lot of raccoons that sit there. And, when a raccoon come up on you and see food, people will feed the food. And once you start feeding the food, they won't be threatened by humans. And it's the same thing with coyotes and other animals out there. Once the humans start feeding these animals, they won't feel threatened by the humans. But once you start feeding them and then things started going south, then eventually you're going to start feeling that, hey, that's probably what the raccoons is. They're not threatened by the humans, because every time they see a human and a raccoon comes up, they feed the raccoons, and they feed them food, and the raccoons, they like to go inside the garbage cans at parks and stuff like that. Here I didn't see no raccoons. All I seen was one lizard, which I know on this side with the bay and it being by Biscayne Bay, you're going to see a lot of water creatures, mainly iguanas, and it says crocodiles, but I haven't seen a crocodile. Maybe at nighttime and stuff, you're going to see a lot of birds and a lot of creatures that do frequent the water more often. And of course, from the looks of the grass, they keeps the upkeep of the back area of this grass, but not as much as, because the grass doesn't look grassy like kids can play in this grass. I mean, in front of the park, yeah, it looked like kids can play in the grass in the front of the park. But in the back of the park, it does look like, this part of the park that it's not something kids can play in. Now we're going to take a walk on the street part of this, because we done did a tour, and I don't want to go in the area. Can we go this way? We could probably go this way. I was gonna see if I can go on the street to get back to the park. We could probably walk this way to get back to the park. Yeah, we can get back to the park this way. This is probably one of their building facilities, or probably this is what they use as like a community building for like private events and stuff like that or whatever. So we could probably do, there's one of the park ranger cars right there. Yeah, this is probably what it is. So it's probably where a lot of these places, they have like community buildings where you can actually like rent it out for like parties and stuff like that, or you can rent it out, for weddings and banquets and stuff. And they might be a little bit cheaper if you rent them out, because I'm quite sure the county will give you a discount as well. Now, this is something I have not seen. This is an interesting basketball court. Now, the art on this basketball court is very actually unique. And this is a unique basketball court. Now, like I said earlier, you see the grass here? Now, this is a grass that you wouldn't mind playing on as a kid. But the grass back there towards the water, I wouldn't play in that grass. You saw as I was walking, there was a lot of bees in the grass, and there are a lot of, flowers in the grass where the bees was, hovering around the flowers and stuff like that. So that wasn't the greatest thing to actually do or to have. There's a dog that's sitting right there. Its owner is sitting in the car. So we're gonna sit here and run out the remainder. A lot of these parks are being pushed away for new development. I don't know. You seen my video when I did the Barnacle State Park, which is in Coconut Grove, where we did a video and I was telling you how half of the park, or majority of the park, was closed off to build more developments. Like the park was a little bit bigger than usual because it was owned by Ralph Monroe, and half of the park got torn down and a lot of development started developing around it. And if you go look at the park, you see, like this park, you have condominiums to the right, you have condominiums to the left, and you have, buildings that's been built all over. And that's what a lot of these parks are coming to, and a lot of these historical places, even though this is not a historical park, but that's where a lot of these parks are coming to, where now they're being built all around, where there's buildings that are being built all around it, from condominiums to shopping centers and a lot of these parks are actually being closed to make room for new development. There's been parks that I've seen on social media where they are closing these parks down to build condominiums, and not only just regular county parks, but also themed parks. If you've seen two of my videos from back then, I did a video of Oakwood Plaza, and I also did a video of Dania Point, where Oakwood Plaza was owned to Six Flags Atlantis, which was a water park, and Oakwood Plaza was home to Boomers, which was a themed park. And a lot of the parks there got closed down and got rebranded to Oakwood. Six Flags Atlantis got closed and rebranded as a shopping center, and Dania Point got closed. And Dania Point, which is where Boomers sat at, which was also known as Grand Prix Racerama, got rebranded as Dania Point, a mixed-use shopping plaza with shopping centers and apartments and condominiums, to where it got rebranded, and it ended up becoming a mixed-use development. And remember when I did, and the dog was chasing the squirrel. And remember I did an episode back in South Miami where one of the Winn-Dixies there in South Miami got rebranded to now be constructed as a mixed-use development, where they tore down a shopping supermarket. They tore down a supermarket to be rebranded as a shopping, rebranded as a mixed-use development. And then there are talks about, I've said this before, closing down Shops at Sunset Place to be rebranded as a mixed-use development. So I know this park is not going to be closed down no time soon, and they're not going to close this park down because of, a lot of these places. But this is what a lot of commissioners and city officials and real estate developments are banking on. They're closing down parks, amusement parks, state parks. They're closing down a lot of these, city use the city properties and county properties to make a way to make money and to make money off the counties. And to me it's sad. But let me know what you think about this. Have you ever been to Legion Park? Let me know. Comment at the bottom of this page as well. What do you think about, the redevelopment of certain parks and areas? I think the redevelopment of parks is good. Like every park should at least have a swimming pool or should have some type of amenities to where it can offer more activities for the kids. Like this park, yes, you have the back part of Biscayne Bay, but look at half of the view. The view is being blocked by a lot of trees and a lot of stuff, even though a lot of that is wilderness and you can't cut them down, but a lot of these areas are being developed around it where you can't really have use or access to a lot of these things. So what do you think about this? I want to know your intake on this. Comment at the bottom of this page. You can also email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. I thank you for watching this episode. We are here in Legion Park in the northeast section of Miami-Dade, here off of Biscayne Boulevard and 66th Street. If you want to know more about this park, you can Google it, Legion Park. And you can also come out here and check it for yourself if you're in the Miami area. This is the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, stay hydrated. And I will see you in a little bit in the next episode. Take care.